Hello, dear listeners. It is a beautiful sunny day in Southern California, and we are spending it sitting inside recording a podcast.
Hooray!
Way!
It is nice outside.
It's stunning.
Is it hot?
It is hot.
Hot by lately standards.
Hot, like in a sexy way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm hard because of the weather, of course.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens to everybody.
Good.
You know how like certain people will like their I don't know, their bones will hurt because it's cold?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me. Just say
Right.
it. It's me.
Yeah, like
you don't
your
need
lower-
to subtweet about
Your
it.
lower back will hurt when it rains and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my hip will kind of grind.
Yeah. I'll get rock solid on a good day. I really would. I really will.
Good.
Welcome to All the Space in Between, episode 7.
Episode 7.
Wow, we're almost to the double digits.
Yeah. And that's where the money is, baby.
That's where hopefully the podcast sponsors are. I can't stress that enough. That is the goal of this podcast. Please, like just to name a few. How about this? I don't want to name any because we're not sponsored by anybody, so I shouldn't say
No.
any brand names on the show.
No.
But I want unconventional sponsors.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going to start sending those emails at episode 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to show them our Libsyn stats, and I'm going to say, look, bud, if you even want a chance of me continuing to use your delicious product,
Dear CEO of fleshlight manufacturers,
I'm running low. I'm down to 4.
please sponsor our podcast.
That's enough
Where
talking
we talk about cats and piss a lot.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
enough talking about my dick. Now we're a minute into the show, so there'd be no more of that. Episode 10. How is everybody? How are you?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, how kind of
Oh,
you to ask.
I just said it's episode 10, and we're just gonna you're gonna look past that. Episode 7.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm warm. I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of my body aches. Because we were at a party last night.
Don't say that. It's gonna ruin my indie cred.
Don't tell them. You don't want me to
Yeah.
tell them that we were at a party.
At a proper get together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had loud
With
music.
Such loud music.
We went thinking it was just gonna be a sort of just a housewarming party. So
yeah.
we like showed up. I brought
we assumed it was going to be just kind of like a few people, like maybe sitting in the garden drinking a beer, going, oh wow, what's the square footage of this place?
yeah,
kind
which
of
I did
thing.
ask.
Yes.
About the square footage and what they're paying and stuff. But very quickly after we got there, because we were what I would consider fashionably late, but we were like the first people there.
Yes.
And that was nice because it was before the party actually started. But as soon as I walked in, there was like turntables.
Yeah, they had
And-
decks.
Yeah, and
They
then
had decks. They had projector screens. They started setting up all these like
yeah, when they
ambient, colorful rave lights.
when they set up the colorful lights and
Yeah.
started smoking weed, I was like, God damn it, it's a party. You've tricked me into coming to a fucking party.
to a real party where I'm gonna have to have fun now. Great, just what I want, to have fun on a Saturday night.
It was fun.
It was.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like one of my neighbors, and I'm stoked I have cool neighbors. They're really neat.
Yeah.
They're really, really interesting and really cool, and we had like a ton to talk about. It was really fun.
Yeah, a lot of artists.
So yeah, tons of artists living there, and they were just all in like their like late 20s, early 30s. It was really really nice. Like wow, those are just my neighbors now. It was
Yeah.
cool. It's fun.
All I have for neighbors in London are pigeons with their toes missing and like rats that eat from the fried chicken shop.
And they don't pay rent.
No, they're all squatting in the flats next to me, and that's all I have for company.
The first time you sent me a picture of a pigeon with its toes missing, I was like, what is this?
I love them.
The one you sent me just had like one toe on each foot.
Yeah, so it looks like their leg just goes down too
Yeah.
far. It looks
And
like
then
there's just
into
a
a nail.
worm coming
Yeah.
out of their body.
Why? How does that happen?
I don't know. They get them caught on stuff. There's a lot of spiky stuff in London.
And they just, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
It's super common to see toeless pigeons. And I love them and I want to look after them, but they're so ridden with diseases.
Yeah, I would never touch one.
No.
You feed them ever?
Yeah, like the old lady in Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I
ever feed them?
sing the song.
Or just
about
answer the question.
tuppence.
Do you personally ever feed the pigeons anymore? Have you
No.
when you were a kid?
Yes.
But you don't anymore.
No.
Isn't it kind of it's
I
sort
don't
of
usually have much bread on me as I'm walking around.
that's surprising.
And I don't just have pockets full of bread.
Isn't it sort of like a universal like we've accepted that now we shouldn't be giving like birds bread. That's a thing now, right?
We certainly shouldn't be giving
Ducks bread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to do that a lot in the 90s. We would just give them whole loaves of bread.
Yeah.
And then even when they would like
the little
look
fuckers
at you
loved
and,
it.
Yeah, they would gobble it up.
But then they're bad for their tummies.
Yeah.
Much like you.
Yeah. If any, yeah, I am
Part duck.
more than a duck than ever. I am more like a duck than ever lately because I too gobbled up bread in the 90s.
In excess.
Yeah. In the 90s
An
and
excess
now.
of 90s bread.
Yeah, and now every time I have it, it hurts my whole
Now
body.
your tummy's exploded.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There was a thing sort of like, it was fun to feed ducks bread in the 90s. And because they would just kind of gobble it all up, you know? And then even when they would kind of give you that look, because they would always kind of side-eye you and look at that sort of like a pleading look, like, please, I'm an animal. I will always eat what's in front of me, but you have to be the adult here and stop feeding me. But you would give them more and more and more until you fed probably one duck like a loaf and a half of bread. You've invested like a good $6 into making foie gras at this point.
No.
And
No.
eventually he will stop eating because he's not a total dumbass. He will stop eating, but it's more so because he like can't open his little beak anymore, right? And then at that point, you got to cram it in.
Oh.
You got to start using your
At that
finger.
point, you got to kind of grab him by the neck.
Well, you have to chew the bread. You do have to chew the bread yourself,
Right.
and then you
Yeah.
sort of almost like a mama duck kind of place it in its mouth. But, I'm not
like-
going to put my lips up to a duck's lips. So I use my finger,
Oh, okay.
the hand I eat with,
To kind of scoop
and
it
kind of
out.
cram it into its long,
Yeah.
sort of a long neck. Yeah.
That would be fucked up if you touched the duck's mouth with your mouth. But
Right.
the rest of this
Is normal.
Normal.
Yeah. Does anyone else remember that about the 90s?
Am I the only one who remembers the 90s and
Yeah,
and
and that being a
and
thing.
killing a duck?
Right.
Yeah.
We would all go down to the duck pond, and I'd be like, which one am I going to kill? Which one? And I would like just be jumping out of the car, and they'd be like, come on, you'd kill whichever one you want. It's your birthday.
It's your birthday, you get to kill two.
Yeah, you get to kill 2 ducks on your birthday.
I hate this.
But yeah, we should also mention that we are the time frame that we're recording this episode is so close to when it goes up.
Oh, it's essentially live.
We were supposed to do it last night, but
Yeah.
ended up at the party,
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to be there for very long. But the bass was bumping, so I didn't want to leave.
But then they started playing a remix of I Write Sins Not Tragedies
That was
by Panic at the Disco.
fire.
That was amazing.
The girl who was DJing then, I missed many opportunities to walk up to her and say, "Hey, we really loved your set."
Hey, I really appreciated the Panic at the Disco remix.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
sort of a
know that I
mashup
needed
that
it in
you
my
did.
life, but I did, and it's filled a void.
She did amazing. She did really good, and we were trying to tell her that before we left, but she was like talking to somebody and like having a moment.
Yes.
So we were just like, oh, man, we're leaving right now, but I really want to tell her. I want to tell her set was good, because I know how good that feels as a musician.
Yes.
You know, just to hear that after a performance, to be like, hey, I really liked your, and I really wanted to say it, and I feel bad that we didn't.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, not supporting your local scene.
Yeah.
Your local scene of next door.
Well, she didn't live there.
Just as local as you can get.
I'll never see her again.
Oh.
So I'm putting the energy out that whoever that was in San Diego knows that they're a good artist.
Good. Hopefully they receive it.
So this episode, we don't have much planned, except we do have one question. And we can get to that in a little bit. But
Yeah.
first, we wanted to elaborate a little bit on what we talked about last week, which is art.
Yeah. One of
feel-
our favorite subjects.
I feel like we talked a lot about everything. And we can be a little more concise than that, or maybe just spread it across multiple episodes.
Yeah. That's what we
Because you
should
can't
do.
learn all of that into what we were saying last week. You know, it's a good starting point. It's a good jumping off point.
Good general ethos.
But after recording, we started thinking about little things that we were, that was really, really important, especially after seeing stuff online. We're like, we should have talked about that right there. And we do have an example of that. And I'm tempted to introduce a segment called Bad Tweet of the Week.
We're very tempted.
And we talk about it when we're alone a lot.
Yeah.
And when we're not broadcasting or podcasting or anything like that. Because there's so many bad fucking tweets on Twitter where just like,
it would be funny if we just like picked out just a mutual that we have.
Yeah.
We're just like, this tweet sucked.
Yeah.
Do better next
It's
time.
like just a selfie from Laura. And we're like, it's just not their best.
It was like, improve. Here are
Yeah.
some notes. No.
That comes with the implication that Laura's ever posted a bad selfie.
Yeah.
Okay? They have not.
Yeah.
Let's get that out in the open. Not as an opinion, but as a fact. No, just like shit that we see retweeted on the timeline.
Yeah, just
And it's
kind of
just-
popular shit from local people.
Yeah, it's just very locally and very fucking bad and
Mm-hmm.
very just like tweet decky style tweets, you know?
Yeah.
What?
That's just a funny way to put it.
Tweet decky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From someone who uses TweetDeck. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, is yes, of course. But no, that's not what I meant. What's the term I'm looking for? That's what they would call people who would like the old fucking like Dory accounts and stuff like that. They would be called TweetDeck people, right?
Yeah. Because they arrange and queue up all their tweets in advance,
Right.
like professionally. Yeah.
I guess I never put that and that together.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool then. I learned something. That's neat. Yeah, just things that are just manufactured to kind of go viral on Twitter for no other reason. And the worst thing about them is that they will do it under the guise of being actually compassionate and
advice.
helpful and caring
Yeah.
about these things that they're fucking talking about. And it's despicable. It's really bad. The thing that's holding me back from that, I think, is sort of, we see a lot of really, 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 really shitty takes, and I don't want anybody to like point it out to that person that posted it, being like,
No.
hey, these people talked about this exact tweet on their podcast, and just be little dicklings about it.
No,
you
I don't
know?
want people to like gang up on them either.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep it vague for this one. Maybe maybe we'll get brave in future episodes and actually call out specific tweets. But we have a good one relating to art on this one, and this is many tweets we've seen.
Yeah. There are a lot of this theme, and the general theme is like, hey, you know, you're still a singer if the only time that you sing is in the shower
Right.
alone. And hey, you're still an artist if the only thing you've drawn was kind of two eyes on the side of your hand, so that
Yeah.
like when you gave yourself a hand job, it would seem like a blowjob.
Fuck off.
You're still a drawer. You're still an artist.
Get out of here. I'm not going to let you explain these things if this is how you're going to do it. That's no, because now I want to deviate from what you're saying for a little bit, because that's one of the funniest things we've talked about in private is the idea that when you draw little
draw two
eyes,
little eyes.
on your hand, you know, like a little, man, I got a little hand puppet here.
Yeah.
And then you give yourself a hand job. You just jack off normally, and then you tell people you got head. That's the
So
that's
funny
the
to
fucking
me.
dumbest thing I can
It's
imagine.
so funny to me.
Okay, we got to stick to art here. Okay, we could do
Yeah.
the carry on, I guess.
Okay. So anyway, the general thing is like, hey, you're still this thing if technically you don't do the thing at
Yes.
all apart from in your spare time as a hobby.
Right.
And it's like, okay, that's technically true.
Yes, we're all artists. Thank you for that.
But that's like, you know, it's technically true that everyone who owns a smartphone is a photographer.
Right. But do you want to be a photographer?
Yeah, but are you a photographer in the sense of like you put effort into that?
Right.
It's your passion. It's not just something that you do passively.
Right.
You know,
You're
there's some kind of distinction between those two things.
You're
Yeah.
exploring and practicing and moving forward in that field
Yeah.
so that you can make something of yourself
Mm-hmm.
in that field. It's very, very, very difficult. I think it is, what's the word I'm looking for? It is enabling those artists to not fucking create art, to not do anything like that, because
Yeah.
okay, the exact tweet, and it's not just one, because I see it so many fucking times on the timeline. Mm-hmm. But the tweet goes over and over and over again. It's this exact thing. It says, "Oh, it's okay if you haven't ever posted your stuff online, and if you haven't wrote anything in 9 months, and if you have not ever shared your work at all with anybody, you're still an artist." And you have a lot of aspiring artists in the replies saying, thank you, I really needed to hear that. That's not what they needed to hear. What they needed to hear is, dog, it's been 9 months. Write something.
You should make something.
You need to fucking do the thing. It's not easy. It's very difficult. You have to sit down and treat it like homework sometimes. But that's the only fucking time that you'll ever, like, that's like saying, like, hey, I haven't kicked around a soccer ball in a year, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still an athlete. It's like, not really. No. Why?
Yeah,
what would make me an
point.
athlete?
Yeah.
I don't practice that thing ever. I just think about that thing. If I love soccer, if I love football, if I love these things, if I love golf, if I love anything like that, just think about sports. If you love that thing a lot and you're spectating it, you're a spectator. You have to do that thing. I know it's hard. I know writer's block exists.
Yes.
But you have to do the thing, and you have to practice doing it to continue calling yourself, or to move forward at all and get better at doing that thing. Yeah. And these tweets that are enabling you to, it's just not helpful to artists.
Yeah, no. I think the tweet that we saw was it was saying something along the lines of, like, if you don't post any of your art, that's valid. And okay, here's the thing. I agree in part that you don't have to post it online, but you do got to do something with it. Like, you don't have to have recorded songs, but go play an open mic night.
Right.
You know, you don't have to have fucking, like, I don't know. I don't have to post my photographs on Twitter, but I can make them into a zine and sell that on a stall.
You have to do something.
They can exist in the real world, they don't have to exist online. But the point is, they should exist somewhere. You know, they should be getting put out there in some capacity. I feel like otherwise it's just a hobby, and it's totally fine to have hobbies, and it's super healthy to have hobbies.
Art is a good hobby.
It's a great hobby, really, really good for your mental state and your creativity and everything, but it's just a little bit different than that being like your thing that you want to do.
Because all the people that are in the replies that are like, I really needed to hear this, thank you so much, are pursuing art. Yeah. They're pursuing art to be an artist.
You should pursue it more.
You have to post your stuff. You have to at least show people your stuff, because there's also this idea of art that I don't entirely agree with, but I see where they're coming from, and that's this idea that art is not art until it can be viewed by somebody else and it can be consumed, you know? And it can...
Yeah, until it can be, like, criticized by... Or it can fit into some kind of public sphere of some kind.
Because then it can be criticized and other people can have feelings about it, and you can evoke emotion in another person. And that's not entirely true. Art is about self-expression. You express yourself and you be an artist. But just based on that alone, it's about self-expression. You got to do the art.
You got to express it. Yeah.
You got to create it. You have to do the thing. So I just don't subscribe to all of these tweets I see, and you shouldn't either. All these tweets that exist from just basic people who aren't going to be artists anyway.
But
they can be, I guess.
Contrary to what a lot of people are like, I needed to hear this. It's like, no, I think you wanted to hear this.
Yeah, you wanted to hear this to make yourself feel better that you haven't created something in a year.
You read any self-help book that exists on becoming successful or becoming good at anything, they're not going to be like, it's okay to not do it.
Right.
They're going to be like, hey, it's hard, but you should do it
You got to do it every day. And the first 6 months of you doing it is going to suck. You're going to fail a lot at it. But you have to get past all that and just do it. Because I know that there's a lot of people listening to this right now that are just like, shit, I'm guilty of this. I call myself a writer, and I haven't written anything in fucking God knows when. And then even then I didn't post it. Even then I didn't show anybody yet. So it was just a thing. So, and it's fine if you're that person. But the more that you find comfort in these enabling tweets that tell you from, people that I guarantee most of them are not living off their artwork. There are some, I think one was, we saw was written by like a New York best-selling author or something like that. And it's like, it's okay if you don't ever create art. It's like, what, do you not want competition? Like, what the fuck? You wrote a book. You did the thing. That was extremely fucking hard. How can you tell people you're still a writer if you don't write? You have to do the thing. You have to fucking do the thing. I can't believe that's even a thing we have to tell people, but of course you have to do the thing you say you are. Yeah. Writers write. Be proud of being a writer and write all the time.
Yeah.
It will be bad at first.
Yeah, and it's not that like, oh, you're not a writer if you don't get published. That's bullshit.
Fine.
It's super hard to get published. It's super hard to even self-publish. You need funds. You need whatever. But you can have a blog. You can put your writing on your blog. You can post your writing to the Reddit Reddit's dedicated to short writing and get feedback on it and stuff like that. You know, there are definitely
useful feedback
places.
too.
Yeah, and you put it out there. And it's good. So in addition to our advice last week of, hey, start calling yourself the thing that you want to be. Start calling yourself an artist. Stop being an aspiring artist. The next thing is you've also got to do it at the same time. You have to do the work
as well.
Yeah.
And it's
do the work as soon as possible.
And we feel the need to say that because of those tweets that get so many likes and you know, they get shared constantly by people who are either in a similar position as the person we talked about last week or are in the position of, I guess, the person we're talking about this week. Whether you call yourself an aspiring writer or you are a writer, you have to write. It's the same thing with being a musician, a songwriter, a photographer. Do the art. You have to do the art. It's going to be hard at first and it's going to be time. And there's also, as far as writing goes, because that's my thing, so it's more easy for me to speak on it. But I'll get a lot of people that tell me I have writer's block. Oh my God, I have writer's block. I haven't written in a year. That's not what writer's block is. You're not writing. That's not a block in your thing. You are not writing. Writer's block, I think it was explained to me by a good friend of mine. He's just a really amazing writer. And was explaining to me the difference between writer's block and this thing that other people are claiming to experience when they actually just don't write. And that is that writer's block is being a writer and you write actively and you're writing and you hit a wall suddenly. And you're like, shit, what the fuck? I was on, oh my God, I was on such a roll and I usually write so much and now there's just a block. That's why it's a block. But this sort of a drought, you know?
Oh, a drought is a good way to put it.
Yeah, this, it's not writer's block. To even have writer's block, you have to write and you have to have written for a long time and have lots of stuff under your belt, and then you experience the block. Get at least to that point.
Yeah.
Right? Even though it's bad, you'll get better at it. You will never get better at a sport by watching another person do it.
Yeah.
You got to actually do it, and you can't take too much comfort in these tweets that are just like, hey, you haven't created in a year, and that's okay. You're still valid. Yes, it's true. You are still valid. Do you want to be a writer, though? Do you want to be a musician, a photographer? You got to get past that.
You'll be happier when you start doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll be easier to do once you get into the rhythm of it again.
So that's just a little thing we've been thinking about this week. Yeah.
You hit long points where you don't create?
Me?
Yeah.
Not super long. But yeah, periods of like maybe a 6 month or so. Yeah.
I think I hit long points when I don't create a specific thing. Because I do so many other so many things. So many things from like the music, which is the sound work, which is all, but then it can also be songwriting, which can also just be mixing, and then it can be this other thing or working on an album. And then beyond that, you know, working on merchandise, there's a lot of art in that.
Yeah.
And then even beyond that, writing poems and putting them out online and doing things like that. So I'll go a long time without writing a poem, but that doesn't mean I spent all that time not creating art. You know, I was just working on other art and I wasn't inspired to do poetry. So then when you switch over to poetry, you start doing that a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I
took a several year break of like not developing any film because I was busy taking photos of people and like making films and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, I'm doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is important. The other art will make you a better artist in the long run. You grow as an artist, you know?
Yeah.
But God, do the art. Don't find too much comfort in these tweets that are just like, you're an artist even if you don't create art. Yes, of course, we're all artists. Cool. We're all singers because we sing in the shower. Cool. Do you want to... No one's going to discover you singing in the shower.
Do you want to pursue that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to gain fans by only singing in the shower. You know, it's okay if you don't share your work. Yes, it's okay. You don't have to share your work. No one's making you share your art.
No.
But do you want to be an artist? You got to display it. You got to have it somewhere where people can find it.
Yeah, and if it's that you don't want to post it online, that's a totally valid thing, but a completely other conversation where it's like, okay, so what avenues do you want to pursue then? Because you want to pursue, like, in real life, gallery meetups. You want to go to an art agent. You want to go to a buyer, you know? But either way, you're putting it out there.
Right.
In some way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Boring shit out of the way. Back to piss, shit, and dick jokes.
We don't have any of those things in this week's question, actually.
Pick another one.
Pick a more bad one. Pick an awful one.
We do have a question, though, and it's quite spooky.
It is.
So let's get into a fun, spooky question. And you know what? I think I'm going to do a little bit of editing on this one.
Oh, we're going to do our swamp sounds.
Make it extra spooky, extra reverby when you read this thing, and it'll be extra fun for the people who are listening.
Excellent.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
Hi, Mitch and Billy. Ever since I moved into my current house, my roommates and I have been hearing sounds of walking in the middle of the night when nobody is awake. Things falling off shelves and breaking randomly. Cold spots in the house. There's even the name Kim spelled out in bricks in the cement patio floor. I've assumed that's the ghost. My cat has always preferred being alone over affection, but would hang out in the living room with the family in the past. Ever since moving, she has been obsessed with sitting in dark rooms completely alone, wide awake. Sometimes when I come home from work at night, I turn on the kitchen lights and find her sitting alone next to the fridge, staring at nothing. If I try to bring her to my room, she walks back to the dark kitchen to sit alone. She yells to be let out into the closed patio, Kim's room, every night just to sit in her darkness. Her favourite spots are the tight corner behind the fireplace and staring under the foundation of the house, but I've also found her sitting directly facing the wall. Are Kim and my cat friends? My roommates and I have tried putting salt lines around the house and burning sage, but this keeps happening. If they're friends and have already grown attached, is it cruel to break apart the friendship? Is my house even haunted? Or is my cat just like that? Sincerely, a concerned individual.
Beautiful.
P.S. I don't have any emails not connected to my full name. What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
So we know who it is, right?
Yeah.
What's up? No, we like to keep this stuff anonymous. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I would like to read another non-anonymous thing that we got in an email, but I'll do that at the end of the show. So remind me to do that.
Okay.
Before we turn off. Mm-hmm. But can cats see ghosts?
Can cats see ghosts, or do they just act like that sometimes? Your cat Noah.
I was about to bring up Noah.
Lead me to believe that maybe they can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always kind of staring off into the distance, and then he'll make a noise.
Running after just something that isn't there, and then stopping abruptly.
Right, yeah. He'll just sprint at something and then stop. Mm-hmm. But he's always been sort of like a dumbass.
Skittish.
Yeah, kind of a skittish dumbass. Mm-hmm. A real dumb, skittish, nervous boy.
Mm-hmm. It says here that they have put salt lines around the house, which is dedicated. Like, you know, everyone burns some sage, whatever, it smells good.
I've burned sage.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
I've never put salt lines around anything.
No.
Have you?
No, I've never been afraid enough.
Have you had reason to?
No. Whenever I've burnt sage, it's never been for like... It's just been for like a bad energy from a person, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I want to cleanse my space of this person who was in it.
And they smelled like shit. They really did.
Yeah, it was you.
I've never even... Get away from me. I've never even burnt sage for reasons like that, to cleanse anything. I just like the smell of sage, so I'll just burn it like incense.
That's nice.
So, you know, it has that doubling effect of cleansing.
Yeah.
I do shit myself a lot, though. So you were right to bring that up. So instead of bathing, I'll just burn sage in my home.
Yeah.
And then it's like, boom, life hack.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. I don't have to bathe.
No, but they put salt lines around the whole house, which... Here's the problem. If the ghost is in the house...
You can't leave.
You've now trapped the ghost in the house. I hate to tell you.
Yeah, that's how
You've
that
trapped
works.
the ghost inside the house.
So maybe that's why it hasn't.
So
yeah.
that's probably why they've formed the bond with your cat.
Yeah, hey, wait a second. When you put salt lines around a property, that's to keep ghosts out, but it also keeps them in.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Is that the official rules?
They can't cross them. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're in the house that's haunted, you want to just put a salt line around yourself.
Around you, yeah.
Yeah, or around like the room that you're in that
you
you're sure is okay.
You fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
This is not how to do it. So yeah, you definitely have a ghost. You have a ghost situation.
Yeah.
Its name is
Kim.
Kim. Kind of a hot name. And
We can only assume this ghost is smoking. Yeah.
smoking hot. There's a Dark Lotus, not to get on some Juggalo shit, but there's a Dark Lotus song called Doornail Dorothy. And it's about fucking a ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
about
yeah.
fucking a ghost. And I will be playing it right now. I won't.
You're not
I
allowed.
won't because I can't.
Yeah.
But if we were broadcasting, I would.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Doornail Dorothy by Dark Lotus. I'm not suggesting you listen to it unless it samples a song. Fuck, who is it by? It samples I can't remember, but some old indie project from forever ago, and it was always like weird, be like, who over at Psychopathic Records just decided to sample this old indie song? That's crazy.
Cool.
And they
Very
sampled
cool.
it, and it was crazy. I knew about the Dark Lotus version before I knew about the other song.
Wow.
And when I heard the other song, I was like, wait a second. I know this from
They
my...
sampled Dark Lotus. Of
Yeah,
course they didn't.
they
Of course
sampled
no
Doornail
one has sampled Dark Lotus.
You don't
No.
know that. You don't know that. Or don't disrespect the Lotus. So anyway,
But yeah, is it cruel to break apart the friendship though? Do you think? If the cat has become friends with the ghost?
no, cats don't care about anything.
That's true.
It's not cruel to do anything to a cat that's not like directly emotionally harming it, like on purpose, or like, again, directly physically harming it.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, they don't care about anything.
That's kind of true.
You can, yeah, they don't. If they're being fed by somebody, they're just like,
Is the
fuck
ghost
you.
feeding them?
Probably yes.
Oh.
Yeah, they probably are doing
Well,
that.
then I think that the main question you have to worry about is the ghost taking your place? Not, are they friends?
Probably, yeah, honestly.
Yeah, because then you have to start being concerned with stuff like, are they going to start like wooing your parents when they come over? And then like, oh, fuck, if you got a partner
Yeah,
come
if you have
over,
a partner
oh,
come over,
forget
you
that.
have to leave the ghost in the closet
Yeah.
and lock it. Put a little salt line. And I know you're
Yeah.
not good at this, but only around the fucking closet. So that it can't leave.
Yeah. Have you tried putting a salt line around your cat?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Kind of dipping your cat in salt. How about that? So that the ghost can't pet it.
Yeah. Can't get to it.
Not a bad idea. Actually, kind of a cute idea. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Noah sees ghosts.
Yeah, we'll just walk in on him and he's really just staring at the mid-distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not looking at anything in particular. He's looking at something that straight up is not there.
Yeah.
And then when I walk through that, it's cold. It's
Yeah.
icy cold.
Oh, boy.
And I'm shivering.
Yeah.
And I feel it pass through me and I go,
Ooh.
oh, and it's the ghost of the piano.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Noah also does love to just be inside a cupboard or something.
Yeah, he likes that too.
Yeah.
Not to make this all about Noah, but he also does this thing where he'll pretend to spray. And he doesn't know yet that he can't.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't. I've not had that conversation with him yet, but he cannot actually spray. Is that true? A cat that's been neutered can't spray?
Yeah.
Is that true?
It must be.
Yeah, it must be because he can't do it.
He can't.
Yeah.
Unless
and
he's just real bad at it.
maybe he sucks at it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not good at spraying. No, he'll each time he walks into somewhere new, like a little cupboard or something, I'll see
Yeah.
him turn around and he'll kind of flutter his little toes and flick his tail and kind of put his little ass up. And you can tell that's definitely what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And then the first time I
Then
saw
he
him
looks
do
all
it,
proud.
yeah, he's all proud to be like, it smells like me now, and I'm like, okay,
This is awkward.
That's
but,
fine.
You're a eunuch.
yeah. Someone has to tell you. I did it because I thought it'd be funny.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I was right. This is
now look what
hilarious.
you're
Look
doing.
at you. You're tiny.
Yeah.
You're the littlest wrists. And you can't spray.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fucked up that we just neuter cats?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah, because you have an unneutered cat.
I have a wild boy. Yeah.
I think, yeah, every time this topic is brought up, it's the bottom line is that it would be worse for cats if we didn't do it, and that's why we do it,
Yes.
But I think if that's the natural trajectory of where we're going as a society, is just to have, if cats just overrule and that's kind of their place in the ecosystem, who are we to deny that?
Yeah, if they kind of take over, then I think I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, if cats were like rats and they were
if
just like,
the whole world was like that one island, like
in Japan
that's
yeah.
like deserted but overrun with cats, I think that would be great. Actually, yeah.
Fuck it. Let's make that decision for us as a society. Let's not neuter cats. Anyway, this person wants some actual advice. I don't have any, like most weeks. I don't have any actual advice, but I do think it's a cool story with some cool editing that I got to do there. Yeah, your cat is probably friends with a ghost. You probably live in a house that's haunted, but as long as nothing broke, you're probably fine. Like,
as long as it's not malevolent.
What's that?
An evil ghost.
Yeah, is that like the ones that like close cabinets and open them a lot?
Yeah, as long as it's not like a poltergeist.
Yes, exactly. A poltergeist. And it's like throwing your favorite mugs and breaking them and shit.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you're probably good.
And you're like, I got that mug from SeaWorld. No, well, SeaWorld's problematic.
Yeah.
Do a favor.
Actually, you thought of that, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe the ghost is trying to help you. No, it's probably fine. You probably do have a ghost. And the salt line is what's keeping it with you always.
Yeah. But now, if you took the salt line away, it would seem like you were kicking him out, and that'd be rude. So you just have a new housemate now, and you're going to have to start charging them rent. Yeah.
And they'll pay you in ghost money.
Wow.
Very cool, which is just outdated currency you can no longer use. And everyone will be like, where'd you get this money? It's just like a little transparent and glowing. That'd be cute.
Beautiful.
Okay. That's enough of that. Let's see. We have a little bit of time left. We have about maybe 5 or 10 minutes left where we got to get booted out of here as if we have to leave at any time.
As if we can't do whatever the fuck we want.
We like to keep our podcast episodes pretty consistent. So
yeah.
Let's read some iTunes reviews. I'm sorry, Apple Podcast reviews.
Oh, yeah, this is the non-anonymous one that you wanted to. That's a fun one.
No, the non-anonymous one, thank you for reminding me, is something else entirely, and I'm going to pull it up right now.
Okay.
Okay, this is just a little email that we got that I wanted to address on the show, and it's called Michael Jordan. And it's from somebody named Ryan. So Ryan says, hey, Mitch, not a question, just listened to episode 6 and heard you talking about Michael Jordan's baseball career and figured I'd write in telling you he played in the minor leagues for a year in Chicago after his father's death and his first retirement from basketball. Love the podcast tons and love all the music that's been put out over the years. Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, Ryan.
Wow.
But unfortunately, I don't like people correcting me, so I'm now blocking your email so now you can't write in ever again. So that's what I wanted to address. Is to say, fuck you, Ryan.
It was all true.
Yeah, it was.
It was a documentary.
Yeah. So now
I can't believe it really fucking happened.
So now that's true.
I can't believe it's true.
No. Only the baseball thing was true.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I guess when
you got me going there.
when he kissed Bugs, that was true too.
That was real and true in my heart.
Yeah, the rest of the thing, like him like winning the basketball game. Oh, that hold on one second. Yeah, that was scripted. Yeah, that was a scripted thing.
Okay. Glad we cleared that up.
Also, I want to make it clear that I don't actually hate Ryan. Thank you for letting me know. And my next question for Ryan is Shaq really a genie in Kazam?
Be real with me.
Did that shit happen? I know.
Did he grant me a wish?
All right. I know that. Okay. Obviously, when I think about it, the Michael Jordan thing, yeah, okay, so he played baseball, and that's fine. And probably the tune thing. I guess the whole cartoon aspect of the thing is probably it's at least scripted, so that can't be like a documentary.
Yeah.
Okay, like it's like how The Office is, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
it's not a real documentary.
Mm-hmm. It's a mockumentary.
Right. So okay, so that's like a mockumentary, but
yeah.
so that was scripted, but Shaq, for real though, is a genie in Kazam? Did that happen?
Just tell it to us straight.
Let us know, Ryan.
Thanks.
Thank you for writing
Much
in.
appreciated.
Also, thank you for saying the nice thing about my music. I really appreciate it. Next, let's read some Apple Podcast reviews.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's pull this up here. I'm going to read one. You're going to read a couple. Okay.
Yes.
So this one is good, and I know that because its title is just good. And it's 5 stars, and it says, while this podcast is mostly about Space Jam, a piece of cinema which greatly disappointed me as a child and still does to this day, they frequently mention shitting your pants, which brings my rating to a 5. Thanks, Mitch and Billy.
It was a 0.
It was, but now
a piece of cinema.
Now it's this. Actually, I'm going to read another one before you get into yours, okay? Mm-hmm. This one just says, best pee fetish podcast ever.
Good.
This easily became my all-time favorite podcast. Thanks, Mitch and Billy. Love from Georgia, not the state, though. 5 stars.
Great.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We have one called My Favorite Rustic Couple Podcast. Listening to these 2 old souls talk about upcycled furniture, beard care, and their love for the Lord. Stretch out under the shadeless lamps and enjoy your stew served straight out of a turtle shell.
God.
While these young fiancé entertain you with their dry, humorless conversation about the next cornfield they're going to stand in. I've never heard anything that sounded more like the crema filter on Instagram. 5 stars.
Wow.
From ... You know.
Do we?
That's what the name is.
I don't know who the fuck wrote that.
And then we have one that I am obligated to read.
Read
which
it right.
comes from all right, the title of is Oi mate, nice cast, innit?
It's so foreign to me.
Absolutely smashing podcast, my dear chaps. Honestly though, Mitch and Billy have the best chemistry I've ever heard in any podcast, and they make me laugh every time. Keep up the absolutely amazing podcast, dude, all the way from Leicester, UK.
Wow.
Sick.
So we're getting them
Big
worldwide
up.
now.
Brap. In
Okay,
fact, if
that's
you can
enough.
believe it.
We can't believe that you've done it. So no brat. So people really do that over there? They actually throw their hands up and go brat, brat,
Yes.
brat. Because I see it in battle rap, and I think at first
It's not just a battle rap thing. I've done it many times.
Where?
It just all the time.
At shows?
Yeah.
But then in class?
It shows
to your
like
mother?
Like if someone
dinner.
says something really good, if you like see a friend you haven't seen in a long time.
Like that?
Yeah.
That's dumb. I have to say it. Someone has to tell you. Someone has to break it to you. It's dumb. I'll see it in a lot of UK battle rap, you know. A person's doing good, and a person will throw up the little gun hand.
fingers.
Yeah, little gun fingers.
Yeah.
And they'll go, breh, 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 breh.
Put up. Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's as close as you get here.
In America, you just get a real fucking machine gun and fire it into the ceiling.
Yeah. We kind of go Yosemite Sam style. And just, we become very short and grow giant mustaches and just kind of fire them into the air.
Yeah.
Both hands.
No, we just gotta make the noise with our mouth and the shape with our hands.
We really should wrap up, but I wanted to share one thing now that I said Yosemite Sam. Mm-hmm. One time I had sort of it wasn't quite sleep
sort
paralysis.
Of a crush on him.
Yeah, sort of it was more of a teenage crush, so it was sexual.
It was fleeting, but strong.
So stupid. I was older. I was 13, so I was just coming into myself in a big way. And that was, sort of the first gay crush. No, I when I was much younger, like 4 years old, mm-hmm. I had like really fucked up, like not even nightmares because I was fully awake when I was having them, mm-hmm. but just sort of night visions of a Yosemite Sam kind of in the corner of my mother's bedroom. Ooh. And I kept telling her like, I can't go to sleep because I'm afraid of Yosemite Sam. And she was like, okay. So you're just gonna have to deal with that. And every time I closed my eyes, I saw him.
Oh my god!
But it was only a problem for like a day. It wasn't like
For one day.
Yeah, it wasn't this looming thing for a long
It
time.
wasn't persistent.
Yeah, it was just one kind
Yeah.
of fucked up day I was having.
His spirit just visited you.
I must have been stressed. Yeah, but that's just a thing I don't think I've told anybody.
Yeah, you've never told me that.
Yeah, now everyone knows it.
I love to know it.
Okay. Any other thing to wrap up?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's do some plugs.
Let's get out of here.
So you've stop. So this has been episode 7 of All the Space in Between. If you would like to write into the show for us to read your question, our email is
allthespaceinbetween@gmail.com, which you can also find on our website, which is
allthespaceinbetween.com.
we have been Pilly and Mitch.
Yeah, we don't introduce our names very often.
No, we do them at the outro.
Here, hold on
now.
one second. Let's practice if we're doing like the intro to an episode. This will be like a little cool thing for the people that stuck around. How about this? Okay, so I'll say, hey, have you guys ever noticed that? And then some fucking topical thing, right? Hey, tweets. What am I, a bird? and then I grab your hand. I say, Mitch Welling, how the hell are you? How the hell are you? My name is Mitch Welling.
How the hell are you?
I almost did that a lot at the party last night.
Yeah.
I wanted to just be like, party or weed. I'll call the cops. I really will. Mitch Welling, how the hell are you? I'm shaking the hands of the cop that got there in record time. What do you think of Mitch Welling? How the hell are you?
Awful.
Okay.
I dread the day that you meet my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say, date her. I hardly know her. just something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And I grab his hand so hard. I don't know whose, but I'm just squeezing it so hard, and I say, Mitchell Welling.
You're squeezing it so hard, and yeah, it's barely making an impression.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
what they're
feeble.
That's what they're concerned about, is that they could see my wrist shaking.
They can
as
see
I'm
you
giving
visibly
it all
trembling
I have,
with the effort.
but it's almost slipping out of their grip because
Yeah.
of how slimy and how serpent-like and cold, which makes it also quite serpent-like. And I'm scaly.
Mm-hmm.
I should say that so that when people meet me, they're not surprised. I am a little scaly.
Yeah.
And I say, how the fuck are you? And yeah, it's almost slipping from their hand because of how weakly I'm.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to our podcast.
Thank you.
New episodes every Monday.
Yes.
And hopefully this episode goes up on time, because we got to put it up now.
We got to put it up right now, and then you're going to listen to it right now.
So if this goes up on time, you'll know we did a good job. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.